Good morning. This is John from Cape Town this morning, and I wanted to just talk about this panic that's in Cape Town at the moment around the water shortage. And I'm sure you've all seen the social media videos about the first modern city that's going to run dry, and there's a whole lot of plans around this concept of how much water people are going to be getting per day, etc., etc. So I always like to look at things a little bit differently and look at the psychology of the mass sort of consciousness that sits in Cape Town around all of us being part of this scenario of being part of having no water, which is pretty scary. So I started doing some research and I started looking at how we can go about changing our own personal intention and perspective around this. And I started researching and I found two things that I wanted to share. And maybe and hopefully we can change our perspective and our personal capacity to be more kind of positive, or be more clear about what we want to and how we want to go about approaching this. So two things I learned. One, Greg Braden, who's a prolific New York bestseller writer. He's written many books on the Matrix and our own sort of ability to create our reality. He was really a very smart guy in the computer and geology world, and he gave it all up and went traveling around the world to spend time with all the ancient tribes, from the Red Indians and the Aborigines. And what he did was he attended a rain dance in Arizona with the Red Indians in America, and what they did was quite interesting, and he was quite shocked by it. And one of the chapters in one of his books is called The Science of Prayer, and he reckons that the way we've been praying has been wrong. He reckons that the Red Indians have got it right, and what they did was about 200 men and women got onto a field, took their shoes off, and sat for 10 minutes, or stood for 10 minutes, waving their arms back and forth and their feet in the ground, and all stood there meditating, and after 10 minutes decided to leave. And Greg said to them, well, what happened there? They said, we stood in the field thanking the universe, or thanking God for the mud between our feet and the wet leaves of wheat between our hands. And we did that for 10 minutes. And apparently the next day in Arizona, it did rain, and there was quite a drought there. So the science of prayer is around being grateful for the water and the rain, rather than being so focused and scared on the drought. And the second thing I learned was, anytime we want to bring about anything into our lives, I think the really thing we need to be doing is feeling excited, at ease, and in love with what we want to bring into our lives. It's called the joy of attraction. It's anything in your life that you are excited about, that you're at ease with, and that you love, comes automatically and so effortlessly into our lives. The things that we are anxious about, depressed about, and hate, like the drought, and everybody's focused on the drought. We are so depressed that there's a drought. We're so angry that there's no water. There's this idea of hopelessness within all of us, but nobody is enjoying the bits of water that we still have left for the moment. Nobody is playing the sound of rain throughout their house on YouTube just to listen to the water coming. Nobody's been grateful to the little bit of water we still have. And I think that if we're able to become grateful, be able to become thankful, to be able to become at ease with the fact that we can bring about a different reality. And if we look at the ancient tribes, they've been at this for ages. The Aborigines have been doing this, and the Red Indians have been doing this. So for me, what I've been wanting to do is, how do I change my mindset towards bringing in water into Cape Town, rather than being so scared that there's no water? And so just on a personal capacity, I'm much more grateful for the water that's coming out the tap. And obviously I'm not wasting it, and obviously I'm not going through that process, but just the idea of being grateful, excited, and at ease that there is water. And I'm sure together on a mass consciousness level, I hope we can all get onto a field, be grateful for the mud between our toes, and feel the wet leaves of the wheat between our fingers, and just be grateful and allow that rain to come. Anyway, I like to think about things a little bit differently. And I guess there is the people that are the atheists, and the people that don't believe that anything is in energy form. And For those people, no problem. I suppose this video is not for you, but for me, I definitely believe in this great quote by Roald Dahl is, those people who don't believe in magic will never find it. Ciao from Cape Town.